What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In the last video I had mentioned it was time for round 2 of upgrades on the Jeep Gladiator. You know, we have done a lot of stuff to this on the channel. 3.5-inch Clayton Off-road lift kit, 37s, bumper, winch, rooftop tent. It's really kind of set up to do anything we want, whether, you know, it's overlanding, rock crawling, trail riding, and it's still a great daily driver. Sadly, we haven't been able to really do many of those things with everything going on, but that does not mean that we're done with the Jeep Gladiator, whether it's upgrading it or just really enjoying it. The round 2 of upgrades, we have a lot of stuff planned for it, but we're gonna start off with an upgrade that doesn't only apply to the Gladiator. Whether you have a JK, a JL, a Jeep Gladiator, control arm drop brackets might be a good fit for you. We're gonna talk about control arm drop brackets, we're gonna get them installed, and we're gonna see, can they actually improve the ride, both on-road and off-road? Let's dive right on in. I picked up a set of TerraFlex control arm drop brackets. These are gonna be a really easy upgrade, very easy to install here at home, and they're a lot cheaper than going with long arms. But before we dive into all that, what are control arm drop brackets? How do you know if you need them? And what exactly do they do? Luckily, they do exactly what they sound like. They drop our control arms. Extremely simple. Now, the control arms bolt to our frame and to the axle to hold it in place. Now, the issue is once you lift your Jeep, the angle of those control arms go from kind of flat to a more severe angle. What that's gonna do is give the Jeep a rougher ride. You have to think, if that angle is extremely steep, let's exaggerate it a little bit, if we're going up against a rock or a big hole, when the tire hits that, instead of the suspension just soaking up all that energy, a lot of it gets transferred up to the frame of the Jeep. Sure, you could have really nice shocks, but if your angle's way too high, the shocks are not gonna be able to control that energy going straight up. Generally, if you have more than a 3-inch lift, control arm drop brackets might be a good choice. Now, the other alternative to those would be a set of long arms like we have here on the JK. That lower control arm angle is not very severe at all. And we're running close to a 4-inch lift on this. It drives like a dream on the road. And when you get off road and start hitting bigger rocks with it, it just kind of glides over it. So there's 2 choices to correct a bad control arm angle. Whether that's long arms or control arm drop brackets, they both kind of solve the same issue, but in different ways. There's a lot of people that don't like control arm drop brackets because yes, you do reduce some of your ground clearance, but for the average person who doesn't do extreme rock crawling but wants a smoother driving Jeep, control arm drop brackets are gonna be the way to go. Let's go ahead and pull the Jeep in here, get one side installed so I can point out a few differences between stock, control arm drop brackets, and long arms, and then we'll dive into the install. The driver's side is installed. We still have to make a few more adjustments, but before we check it out, there's a few things I do want to mention. The install is really not that hard. It took like 30 minutes to do that side. It is hot in Texas right now. Sadly, the Gladiator does not fit in the garage. We got the AC unit over there, so you know, with the garage door down, it's very comfortable in here, but right now there's tons of mosquitoes and heat coming in. So the one thing I didn't really go over was the what actually comes in the kit. So I mean, of course we have the drop bracket itself. We have some hardware, we have some spacers, and we have our instructions and some stickers and whatnot. So far the install is really easy. Few tips before we actually like dive into the install portion of it. I will say that TerraFlex does have an install video, like step by step. I don't want to make this video a step-by-step video because, you know, they already have one. But as you can tell, the control arm drop brackets are installed. As you can also see, is my axle is pushed forward quite a bit. So this is where it comes into play with drop brackets and adjustable control arms. A lot of people say, oh, if you have adjustable control arms, you don't need drop brackets, but they both kind of like do the same thing while they don't do the same thing at the same time. So it's kind of hard to explain. I think like one of my second videos I ever put on YouTube was installing control arm drop brackets with adjustable control arms on the JK. And there were a ton of people on there saying, oh, you don't need both, just pick one, you already have adjustable control arms. Well, they do different things. Once you lift your Jeep, your control arm angle increases, right guys? The axle gets sucked inwards that way. So adjustable control arms are gonna recenter your axle in the wheel well. It's also gonna allow you to adjust that caster and pinion angle back to the factory spec. But what adjustable control arms don't do is reduce the actual angle from that lift. You can tell that control arm is nearly flat. With a 3.5-inch lift, for the bracket, the control arm was going up there, now it's going down here. We did fix our control arm angle But what we did kind of mess up is our ground clearance right here. This is a big reason people hate them, just because it's very low hanging. Now, I ran the control arm drop brackets on my JK with the 1-ton axles for a while, and they do work. You know, sure, you will hit it on some rocks, but is it the end of the world? No, not really. And there definitely are like lower hanging things. I mean, it's about level with their diff. And if you look at it, it's very similar to the rear control arm. So, you know, sure, if we're extreme rock crawlers, this might not be the best setup, but for somebody who daily drives their Jeep with a lift kit and somebody who just wants to hit the trails, this is going to be amazing. We're gonna notice a big difference with these nice level control arms. Since I already had adjustable control arms and everything was adjusted to the correct spec, my axle is actually pushed really, really far forward now. So before I make any adjustments with the control arms, I'm gonna have to go ahead and knock out the passenger side. So first thing we're gonna do is remove this bolt right here on our lower control arm on the frame side, and then we're gonna go ahead and remove the upper control arm completely. With the control arms out of the way, we're gonna grab our new bracket, the included big bolt, and the big washer, and go ahead and start the lower side of our drop bracket. I will say that getting this lower portion set up is probably the hardest portion of the job. We crawl under here to the upper side. Ow, I just dropped that in my eye. Ow, all right. So up here on the upper bracket, we have 3 spacers, small, a big one, and another small one. I guess medium, I don't know. But there's 3 gaps, 1, 2, and 3. So it's gonna be small here, then large, and then small, and then put the bolt through. Now all we have left to do is reattach the control arms and tighten everything up. A real quick tip on aligning control arms, you can hold it up here. All I have to do is pull the tire and it's going to allow me to throw that bolt in without fighting it really bad. I'm excited to see how these things ride, both on the street and off-road. So tonight, I'm gonna finish wrapping this up, make sure everything's good within spec. Like I was saying earlier, this should give us a better ride. A lot of you have probably seen the broom handle example before. When the angle of the broom handle is nice and low, you can easily push it over bumps. Now, if we raise this handle up and we're pushing it, as I can already tell, it's just grabbing every little bump and it won't go over it. So right there, it just transferred the energy up to my hand. Let's see, let's go nice and low. It bounces over it. Let's raise that angle up and it catches. Theoretically, that's the exact same thing that's happening with steep control arm angles. When you're driving over a rock, if that angle is really high, your tire's gonna hit it and it's just gonna raise your body up. The tire and axle aren't gonna wanna hop over it. With this lower control arm angle, our tire is more likely just to hop over bumps or obstacles. Everything is buttoned up, tightened down. We are ready to hit the road to see if these control arm drop brackets are gonna make a noticeable difference on the Gladiator. Let's go. Just from driving out of my neighborhood, I can tell a little bit of a difference. The biggest thing I noticed so far is the braking characteristics. So there's a thing called anti-dive. I don't think I can fully explain it without making an entire video on suspension geometry. People talk about adjustable control arms. They talk about how, you know, they can fix your caster and pinion angle, and they call that geometry. That's more just alignment purposes. That really doesn't go deep into suspension geometry. So in the rear, we have anti-squat. For example, if we were completely stopped and we floored it, does the back end squat down? Does it stay level or does it rise up? Now, we didn't touch the back, but we did change the front. So with these drop brackets, it kind of changes our anti-dive. So when we get on the brake really hard, the front end doesn't dip down as much. It's almost a little bit more towards like how it was stock, which is really nice. But just driving the Jeep in general, I was able to add a little more caster into it, which didn't exactly have to do with the drop brackets, more of just the adjustable control arms themselves, but it's driving really good. It's going in a straight line, feels really smooth. There's a turn here we're gonna take. Let's go ahead and test out this anti-dive. Oh yeah, I mean, that's a decent brake, and the front end didn't dip down as much as it used to. So we got a little back road here with some dips. We're gonna see what these control arm drop brackets feel like. I would much rather go like actual off-roading. There's nowhere close around here. So we got some big old bumps right here. Man, definitely soaked up so much better than before. So that right there, I mean, normally, while this isn't an amazing lift kit I have on the Jeep, I'm running the Clayton 3.5 inch. Man, it soaks it up so good. The Clayton lift kit rides really, really nice. However, just due to the fact that we're running a short arm lift, there's not much you can do with shocks, running the Falcon shocks. With that steep control arm angle, bumps like these, normally you kind of feel it in the frame, whereas now it just feels like the Jeep's just soaking it up. It is a little sketchy because I have no idea how big some of these holes are right now. Yeah, some of these are big. I need 4-wheel drive probably. Oh, I did not think that this video was gonna turn into me going mudding. Oh my gosh. Wow. Holy moly, gotta be careful. I don't hydrolock the engine out here. Holy crap. Whoa. All right, well, so far, I will say that I've noticed a very big difference, not only in the ride quality on the road, just from that little, like maybe 1 mile of a drive. The biggest thing that I could really notice was the anti-dive and just how stable the Jeep felt. The stabilization part was mostly due to the caster that I added. But the great thing is that it doesn't matter what lift kit you have. You can add these TerraFlex drop brackets and benefit from them. Especially those of you that don't have adjustable control arms already. You're gonna be, oh my goodness. Man, she really just got some mud thrown on her right there. Look at that. You can't really see, but it's just like, this is normally completely dry. I was not expecting it to be like that. Man, all right. So next on my list for today is to wash the Jeep. Man, are these a good upgrade? I would say yes for, you know, any moderate Jeep owner. You know, if you daily drive your Jeep, it's gonna enhance the ride so much better. And then even if you just do light off-road trail riding, you're gonna love them. Now, if you're a big hardcore rock crawler, like I said earlier, they might not be the best choice, but I've ran them on the JK for a long time in the past and they worked amazing. And so far, the way this thing is driving, I definitely give them a thumbs up. But there's some other stuff we need to talk about on the Gladiator. I gotta take this into the dealer for a few things. So let's turn around and check out what needs to be fixed on my Gladiator, and then also talk about some of the upcoming upgrades. I try my best to avoid the dealer as much as possible. Most of the times, if something breaks on the Jeep, I try to fix it myself, even though it is under warranty. Sadly, this is one I have not been able to figure out. Hopefully, maybe one of you guys would know. So, about last week, my Uconnect, the radio system, decided to do an update. We were out at the beach, the drive-on beach, and I think we had like internet or cell signal when it started the update, and then we lost service. And this is the screen I got. So pretty much it said that the software update failed and we have to contact Uconnect or take it into the dealer. Now the issue is this screen never turns off from here. So right now the Jeep's off, like it doesn't matter what I do, this just stays on. So I didn't know that and it ends up just draining the battery completely because the screen stays on for really however long the battery's good for. So I have no radio in here. Really kind of annoying. So I just pull the fuse under the hood and it at least turns everything off and I won't drain my battery. So we have to go to the dealer for that. Second, while it's there, I want to get the new steering box. A lot of the Gladiator owners know exactly what I'm talking about. The deflection that's in the steering box. I did the video where we installed the Synergy, the track bar and sector shaft brace, and it did tighten it up a bunch. However, I think it's just internal, or like the design of the gearbox being aluminum. The new steel one is supposed to be a lot stronger and take out even more steering play. So I have yet to do that. Hopefully when I drop off the Jeep to get the radio looked at, they can throw in a new steering box for me. And my tie rod end right up here on the drag link side, I can't really show you, but that joint is shot. It's hard to tell in the video, but that joint does have up and down movement. It kind of like pops in and out of the socket, which means it is toast. So normally, like, that is something the dealer would fix under warranty, but in this situation with, you know, everything we've done to it, the bigger tires, I really do not think they're gonna replace that. So I think we're gonna do a complete steering makeover. So we're getting the TSB done, hopefully. I do have plans for a complete like off-road steering setup, which means new drag link, new tie rod, because why not? We had one joint go bad, so let's replace the entire setup, make it a lot stronger, followed by something to make the steering a lot more powerful off-road. Once you start adding the larger tires, once you start getting into the rocks, rock crawling, and you know, you lock your front differential and you're trying to turn, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's extremely difficult. Luckily, there's a few options on the market to fix that, but there is one that's really new and it's really unique. So I want to show it to you guys coming up soon. So I think that is going to be about it for this video, guys. There's one more thing real quick. All my JT guys, my Gladiator guys, when you're running larger tires such as 37s, and you're running a rear track bar, this is kind of new from Clayton Off-road. So their lift kits do now come with this. If you watched my original video where I installed the Clayton Off-road lift kit, it came with a straight track bar, straight rear track bar. And that's pretty common for most of the like the aftermarket lift kit companies. They throw a rear track bar that's straight. Now the issue with a straight track bar is that once we're going with 37s, where are we gonna mount our spare tire? This has been a really big like question within the Gladiator community. Like how big of a tire can you fit back there? Well, you can squeeze a 37 back there, but it does kind of contact your rear track bar. Now that's not really a bad thing when the Jeep's just sitting there, but once you're off-roading, your axle is gonna move forward and back a little bit. When it moves back, your track bar is just gonna dig into your tire. The tire isn't the issue. It's the fact that your tire is putting pressure onto your track bar. I do not like that at all. So Clayton Off-road came out with this neat design. It has this bend right here, as you can tell, so it mounts there. This bend kind of angles back to give us a little more clearance for a 37-inch tire in the spare location without compromising the strength of this track bar. So I'll be throwing this in soon. That is definitely really, really neat, especially for you guys who want to put a 37 in the factory location. And I'm going the wrong way again. And speaking of the steering, check this little sneak peek out. Guys, I'm excited for this. So that is it for this video. Please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what upgrades you want to see next. I'll see you later.